We knew Mike and Mary ever since we've been in Ottumwa. We come down here. I transferred with Hormel's, and Mary and I come down. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday, and to check the place out. You know that we was going to transfer down here, and we happened to go by St. Mary's, and school was there. Well, our kids went to the Catholic school up there in Clare, and so we just peeled in to see, you know. And the first people we met was Ed and Mary Ryan, and they introduced it's an Ann, yeah. And so we've been friends with them forever. I guess my biggest thing with them would be the core retreat. Father Nick Adams asked Mary and I and Mike and Mary to do the core retreat with them, and we started it out. And I think that's my biggest thing. That's all I can do.
I think I remember when Sean and John played baseball a little bit together, so got to know him back then, got to know him more and more over the years. Him and I played a lot of rounds of golf together. We rode the golf course, solved a lot of world's problems out there. Everybody's except ours. But he always had an answer for everything. He was quite a man. There again, Santa Claus to everybody. And he's going to be very, very well missed. At that particular time of the year, he played Santa Claus and never charged a dime to anybody for doing that. Him and I have cooked a lot of meals with Casey's together. It was kind of if he was cooking, I was cooking. If it was a banquet, and Jim can testify to that, one of us, we wouldn't cook without the other one. Well, if it's Sunday breakfast, Mary was always there helping with us. It's just, they were very, very great friends. I don't know what else I can say about them. Things will come over the next few years, and next months and whatever, but they're going to be missed around this community for all they did. People will remember.
I worked with Mary, and the couple loved each other very much. You could see it all the time. Mary and I worked, I don't know what, 30-some years together. And one of the notes I had was about her vegetable soup for Ash Wednesday. And I always threatened to throw some meat in there. And she said, no, you can't put any meat in there. It's Ash Wednesday. You couldn't have any meat on Ash Wednesday. But that was an annual thing, and it was always fun working with her. And she's always incorporated me into it. She'd say, here, open these cans, do this, do that. As soon as Mike walked in the room, she gave him 10 jobs, and Mike just did them automatically, and he was also a great help at religious ed. Mike was. He escorted the kids to their cars after class, and it showed again those two working together all those years, and. Mary took things very seriously, but at the same time she could be a hoot to work with, a lot of fun. And God help you if you said anything against Mary in front of Mike, because he was a strong defender of Mary.
Between the three of us, Ed, Mary, and I, there was 100 years service at St. Mary's, so we were a team. And you know, it's like we all had our specific jobs, but if anybody needed help, we knew we could call on the other two to come in. And, you know, and then Mary has taken several groups of kids to NCYC, the National Catholic Youth Conference, and she knows those kids. She knows their lives, and she was so creative, because I got to go to that one time, and on the bus we played games, and they were unique games that, and I kept thinking, where did she come up with this? She was very creative.
A lot of things, of course, are school and church, but some of the other things was a youth baseball, and Dave touched on it, but I'm pretty sure he was president of the league for a year, and I remember when Mary, they'd sell the signs out there for the advertising, and then he'd have Mary go out and paint them. So. But at any rate, New Lines is another big item. He was a past president, a tail twister, director, worked on all the pancake days, the broom sales. And I'm pretty sure he got a Lion of the Year, and I think he may have got a Melvin Jones recipient. I can't remember for sure. Do you? That's a pretty big award, and I think he may have got it. But of course, the Knights of Columbus. I mean, he's past Grand Knight, the bowling tournament. He was a director for that for
Years.
2 years, 3 maybe.
Oh, longer than that.
A lot of, yeah, and he spent a lot of time on that. It was.
Yeah.
But then, you know, a 3rd, 4th degree, a trustee, an honor guard. He worked the stag. He just did everything.
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask him, and he'd be there. So, the blood, Mississippi Valley Blood. I think he was a director on that for 20 years, maybe. I don't know.
He still is.
He's still on.
Well, yeah, I'm still on the board that does the, you know, the doling out of the monies, which he did a wonderful job at that. Yeah, I don't know how many gallons the donor he was, but I'd guess quite up to the top, whatever it was. But
Yeah, he gave once a month.
yeah, a little more often than that. That platelets.
He did it once every 4 weeks. He did it once a month.
Yep.
On platelets.
Well, and he, of course, like I said, he was 30 years my partner, and he retired as president of this office. A great man. Yeah, I could just say he was past president of our local association of independent agents. And I know he spent a lot of time on the golf qualifying that the state association sponsored, and we had a local qualifier, and then he would, out of the ones that would qualify for the state, he'd take them up to, at that time it was Mason City, and he always had a few good stories about some kids. And it goes back to this core weekend. I mean, that was, what you guys talked about, that was a huge deal for them. They really,
It was.
they put their heart and soul in that. They really loved it, so.
There was so many kids that affected too.
Well, you go to, you know, I can remember my kids graduating, all the invitations you get. Well, they'd be at every single one of them.
Exactly.
And they had no kids that age, but it's those kids that remembered them for their graduation party to include them in for the celebration. They all remembered him, but Mike and Mary both.
The thing I remember most about Mike is when he laughed. It wasn't just a ha ha ha, you know, he laughed with his whole body and just, you know, and the twinkle in his eyes, and so many close moments, and they were always there for us if we had, you know, a tragedy in our lives, or they were there when our parents died. And with Mary, and I know I'm going on and on, but with Mary, when Mary Conlon's mother first came down to Ottumwa, and she lived with Bruce and Mary for a while, she had fallen at home, and Mary had contacted us and said that we were out of, she was out of the emergency room with Rosemary. And lo and behold, us 3 other ladies tramped out to the emergency room, and they wanted to know who we were. And we told them, we're Rosemary's other daughters. You know, we could be a formidable force when we needed to be.
You didn't say no to Mike and Mary. If they asked you to do something, it was a honor and a privilege to be involved with Mike and Mary. When I was manager of the KCs, we'd have a bowling banquet. I knew that I could call Mike and David and Bruce. Okay? I knew they'd be there, but more important, Phyllis, Barb, and Mary, all our wives were there too, because we were a group. And I've always said, and I'm gonna start crying now, but I've told people that I know, and these guys here know it, behind every good man is a better woman. We've all married them, okay? we've all married better women. But Catholic daughters used to put on their Christmas party. And to see the people from Tenco come and then see Santa Claus come in, and their eyes just got so big, and he had time for everybody. Every one of those kids he had time for. And I
A few times, Mary even dressed in a Rudolph
Yeah.
outfit
Yep.
and came with him. She was always with him. She always drove him and made sure that he had his costume on right and everything, you know. But so she was always with him. She was always there for him. But a couple of times she put on the Rudolph outfit and it was a hoot. She entertained those kids while he had somebody on his lap. She was entertaining too, and it was great to see them do that together. It was awesome. First of all, they were very devout Catholics.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they lived and breathed their religion. The other thing is they were very devout Irish. I mean, you didn't say anything bad about the Irish because they were very proud of their heritage.
like somebody said, it was never, well, where's Mikey? Or where's Mary? It was always, where's Mike and Mary? It was Mike and Mary, you know?